Starmer was booed for jumping the toboggan queue at Madeira holiday. I'm going to read into this more from the Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Times with the headline that Starmer was booed for jumping the toboggan queue on the Madeira holiday. Some tourists who had waited for 3 hours, jeered as the Prime Minister and his children were escorted to the front of the wicker sledge ride. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Now, there's a couple of things on this. Now, why are we talking about this, Regan? This is a non-story. I know some people might think this is a non-story. I think this puts into perspective, when you think about it, like, about those who are privileged and those who are not. I think the choice of a holiday is not ideal, especially with those who have been queuing, especially British holidaymakers. It paints a very bad picture. Because of his position of power, it is seen as, well, of course, because of who he is, because he's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, it makes sense for him to be able to jump the queue. But then in retrospect, it's like, well, why don't they because he's a Prime Minister, why doesn't he go and do something else? Why does he have to jump in front of those who have been queuing for hours on end, and then he just goes straight in front? I totally get this. I totally understand this. That I'm like, there is one side of me that is like, he shouldn't have to jump ahead of the queue just because he's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. But there's a part of me is where, well, you can't have the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom sitting there queuing for 3 hours as well to take his kids on that ride as well. So there's that respect as well. So it's kind of like, yeah. Like, here's the thing. Like, I get the frustration around this. I really do, and I think it's also important to understand as well that, and I'm not saying this I'm not using this as an excuse. The guy lost his brother as well. So understandably, he's been going through a lot of emotions, and I'm not saying that that's an excuse for him to be able to skip the queue in any way, shape, or form. But I am kind of torn, because a part of me understands why he was pushed in front of the queue, but I also understand the frustration of those who have been queuing up, and especially for 3 hours as well. I feel for those people. I really do feel for those people who've been waiting for 3 hours. And then you see somebody comes right in front of you. That really does hurt. Yeah, it's not a very good. It's not a very good image, is what I will say. I think it's a very bad image for him and for his two children to have that and to have seen that happen. It's not a very good image, because it portrays Keir Starmer as someone who is above the average person, and it portrays him as not a normal person, that he is above people. It gives that impression to people, and people will say in the comments, well, he is above those people because he's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. But if you want to be seen as one of the people, you shouldn't be doing something like this. If I'm honest, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't think he should have done this holiday. That's me personally, because of the possible backlash or publicity that it can come off it because of your job, while at the same time he's supposed to be away and enjoying his holiday. I kind of wish they hadn't made this decision to go to take him on a ride. If I'm honest, guys, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think they should have done it in the first place, because you knew that if they were going to get queue jump like this, you knew there was going to be some anger and frustration over this, and they rightfully has to be as well. So Keir Starmer has annoyed holidaymakers in Madeira after he skipped the queue at the toboggan ride during his winter break on the Portuguese island. The Prime Minister was escorted by security to the front of a 3-hour queue for the ride with his 16-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter. They were immediately shown to their seats on the ride. Fellow British holidaymakers were astonished to see Starmer, and several booed when they saw him jump the queue. One of the tourists was heard on the footage shouting, "Get to the back of the queue." However, government sources said that the decision to escort Starmer to the front of the queue was taken by Madeira's police, adding that it would not have been sensible for a Prime Minister to be stood outside for hours in a public queue. See, this is the part I understand. Yeah, this is the part I understand, but I also understand the position of it's not right that he gets to jump the queue. I get that. The Prime Minister was on holiday in Madeira with his family from Saturday and was due to return home on New Year's Day. He arrived a day late following the death of his brother Nick on Boxing Day. Russell Schacter, 64, from Ilford in Essex, said that he and many other British tourists who had arrived off the cruise ship had waited for hours for a ride on the toboggans despite having bought a ticket. Yeah, this is where the moment they got goes down. And he told the Sun, or the Scum, that I happened to be videoing just after 1 p.m. at the moment when I recognised Keir Starmer arriving in a car with his security team in another vehicle. He stood there smiling as his two kids were taken straight to the front of the queue, and we were put straight on the ride. The people who had been lining up all morning were not quite so happy, and quite a few boos of calls to get to the back of the queue went up. One of the kids went off. He was then driven straight to the bottom of the toboggan run to meet him. Schacter added, it's obviously a privileged position and has security issues, but it was still a difficult pill to swallow to see him pushing to the front after we queued for 3 hours. Brits are famous for being good at queuing, and it was a difficult pill to swallow. A Downing Street spokesperson says, we don't comment on the Prime Minister's security. Yeah, they don't need to comment on it. Starmer remains in charge of the country while on holiday in Madeira, an archipelago of 4 islands off the northwest of Africa, known for its warm subtropical climates and namesake wine. He was due to travel on Friday, but his brother died on Boxing Day, aged 60, having suffered from cancer. So, I think, you know, I really think, yeah, that I get it. Like, I get it. You know, he wants to portray a good image and whatnot for his kids and all that kind of stuff. I get that. You know, I totally understand that imagery. But you also have to remember that you're at a time when people are struggling in this cost of living crisis. People are struggling right now, and he knows that. This is not a very good image. This is not a very good look for the Prime Minister. And I know some people will say that he's perfectly entitled to jump the queue. Some people may argue that. Some people may argue that he shouldn't have jumped the queue. He should have waited. Or my position is they shouldn't have done it at all. Because of this imagery. I just think personally, while he's on holiday and he's entitled to do whatever he wants, I just don't think necessarily this is a very good public image. Given the privilege that he has, the power that he has, to see that does leave a bitter pill in the mouths of other, not just British tourists, but those who have been queuing. And especially when times are really tough right now for people back home in the UK. It's not a very good pill to swallow, is what I will say. But I generally would like to know what you guys think about this story. Do you think it is right that he was allowed to jump the queue? Do you think he should have queued like everyone else? Should he have not done it? Should he have not been taken on it at all? Generally want your thoughts about all this and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button, we'd greatly appreciate it, and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.